don't want to say it's been bothering me all day. I don't want to say, I don't know the best way to put it. It's been on my heart for about 2 days now. I need to talk about it.
So baby, come with me as far as eyes can see.
Hey y'all, what is up? It's your girl Brianna. I am back with another video. Y'all, I want to talk about this because things I just thought about and pondered on and realized, like, okay, you know what, this is something like I really need to go ahead and talk about, because clearly if I'm thinking these things, maybe someone else is thinking these things, and maybe they're not, and maybe it's just something that I need to share with everybody else. So I'm excited. With no further ado, let's just get right into it. I want to talk about the position and where we are right now. It's July, okay? If you're watching this, like, as soon as it comes out, this is like July, mid-July 2022. I don't mean to sound like a little doomsday girl, because that's not me at all. But I think it is time to be real with ourselves. It is so important to be real with ourselves at this moment in time and realize, like, these next 6 months are crucial. They are crucial to the point where you need to decide right now what you're going to do with your life, what you're going to do with your career, with your family. Like, you need to decide like what you have in mind, and you need to act on it now. When you look at everything that's going on in the world, you see everything from civil unrest to looks like we're about to come up on a little recession here. When you look at like just the state of our nation, the state of our world, it is very clear that things are never going to return the way that we once knew them, okay? It's very clear. You know, I always joke, I'm like, everything went down since the pandemic, but like in actuality, it did. But the difference is here is, what are you gonna do? Like, when you know that these, you know, things are changing, when you know that things are not gonna be the same, what do? Do you, you know, take no action and just wait for things to pop off? Or is it time for you to look at everything that's going on and say, you know what, I do need to take action. I do need to figure this out. I do need to stop sitting on my freaking hiney. That is the real question. Like, it's so funny to me when you look at some of the most influential people, some of the best CEOs, some of the best entrepreneurs, they have made their mark in the middle of the worst times, okay? And everyone is saying this is not the time. They tuned in, they dialed in, they honed on their craft, and that's how they got it done. Now is not the time to sit around and say, you know what, like, next year I'll think about it. Next year, you know, I'll, you know, pursue whatever I want to pursue. Or, you know, I really like that idea, but like, we're just not going to take that on until next year. No. We're at the halfway point of the year. Are you going to get to the end of 2022 and say, you know what, I did nothing? I did nothing for my own dreams, my own goals, my own vision. Like, are you content with that? Are you okay with going into the next year and saying, you know what, I just didn't press the gas because of whatever excuse you want to throw that way? I didn't think so. I have personally got to a place where I finally realized, like, no one's starting this. No one is going to turn this on for me. Nobody is going to come and say, you know what, Brianna, like, I think you're talented at X, Y, and Z. I'm going to help you get there. I have to start first. I have to open the door. I have to decide, you know what, like, this is a vision that was given unto me, and it's up to me to complete it. It's up to me to figure it out. It's up to me to start it and take the messy action and do what I need to do. And the longer you wait, the longer you miss out on your blessing. God cannot give me something if I don't open the door. If he's sitting here and telling me to do something over and over and over and over and over again, and I'm just like, oh, okay, I'll get to it when I get to it, what, he's just gonna be staring at me. It's not like he's gonna, you know, faith that works is dead. That's just the fact of the matter. So if God's giving you vision, you have to believe that there's provision, but you have to start. He can't do anything if you don't make that step. You have to choose to walk in the purpose. You have to choose to walk in the calling that God has given for you. You have to choose to do these things. And I don't think that people fully understand that. Or maybe they do, and they just decide, okay, well, it's just not an opportune moment. Guess what? Life is not going to hand us any more opportune moments. Open your phone, watch the news, whatever you need to do. You see how the world is panning out right now. Now is the time to get your stuff in order. It's now. It's now that I'm going to work for my dreams. It's now that I'm going to, you know, work a little bit harder, stay up late, do whatever I need to do. And as humans, we naturally wait for things to slow down. Like, oh, when things get slower, it's not getting slower. It's not getting slower. It's not going to slow down. It's not going to get less hectic for somebody who like has a side hustle, who has a gift, who, you know, has something they want to pursue on the side. Why is it that we're like, oh, we'll just wait for a slow season to get that done? When you work for your employer, you don't wait for a slow season. How is it that we're waking up every single day and working harder for somebody else and then coming home and not working on our dreams? And I know that that's easier said than done, and I understand that like it sounds very like hustle mentality, but the fact of the matter is to go where you've never gone, you have to do things you've never done before. And it's not going to be easy at first. I don't know any entrepreneur, any business owner, any person who just, it was handed to them. You have to take that action. You have to decide today, you know what? Say, God forbid, 2023 comes down and she is a hot mess and she is in the ghetto. You will look back on 6 months and be like, dang, that's when I should have been preparing. That's when I should have been perfecting my craft. That is when I should have said, you know what? No matter how hard it gets, how tired I get, I need to get this done, because if I don't build this foundation now, there's no telling what's going to happen. You don't want to get to 2023 and then decide, oh, you know what? Like, I should have started that business back in July, or I should have taken it more seriously back in July, or I should have decided, you know what? Like, I am the brand. I need to go ahead and do what I need to do and set myself up. Like, no. When you get to 2023 and things are crazy, you're 20 steps behind, baby. You're 20 steps behind. Like, I want to make this very clear. This is something I just kind of came across, something I've just now like wrestled with and like really internalized, because I'm somebody who personally, like, I have so many dreams, so many visions, and I firmly believe that every single one of these dreams and visions, like, God really did give it to me. And that, you know, when he gives you vision, he's not going to leave you out provision. And there are so many things that I am really skilled at and that I love and that I do for fun and that I've always wanted to monetize. And I've taken this for granted for so long. Baby, let's be honest. If you know me, you know my schedule, when was I getting a chance? Never. And that's the truth. Like, when did, like, I listening to myself, I'm like, when did I ever think this was slowing down? I have 2 externships, 2 internships, whatever you want to call them. Like, I'm booked and busy. So when did I think this was going to slow down? But if you are willing to work 40, 20, 60 hours for somebody else, why do you not have enough self-respect and self-love for the dreams that God has given you to come home and work on your own stuff? And nobody's saying it needs to be long. No one's saying it needs to be long and drawn out. Like, you just got to get started, bro. You just have to get started. You have to decide today, like, you know what? I can't sleep on this any longer. And you have to make that choice. You have to go ahead and decide, like, you know what? This is what I'm going to do today. I'm going to wake up every day and I'm going to take 10, 20, 30 minutes, an hour to work on my dreams. Because it's going to be, like, the worst thing you can do in this life is push things off for so long until it's too late. And you look at somebody else who's doing exactly what you were called to do and you say, oh, I missed it. That's it. It's over. You don't need to wait until 2023. You don't need to wait until you know, oh, dude, when I get, you know, my money up, or when I have a better camera, or when I, whatever. No, you need to start now. You need to start now. Because the longer you wait, the harder it's going to be. And I would hate for any of y'all, I'm so serious, myself included, I would hate to get to 2023 and be like, dang, Brianna, you knew what to do. You had the blueprint. You just chose not to act on it. That's crazy. No shade, no, like, anything. Like, I'm calling my own self out on this too. Like, I'm calling myself out. Because I'm just as guilty. And I'm telling y'all, I literally was at the gym, I was on the treadmill, and I said, dang, it's already been 6 months. It has already been 6 months since 2022. It's almost 2023. And just as fast as the first 6 months flew, the last 6 months will fly. What am I going to do at this time? Am I going to be intentional? Am I going to decide, like, enough is enough? Is this going to be another year of having dreams and plans and visions? Is this going to be another 6 months of me just doing nothing? And then I took into account everything that's going on in this world. Y'all see what is going on outside. Like, literally every other day I'm like, God, please come pick me up. It's ghetto down here. Like, y'all see what's going on, okay? But you cannot say you weren't, you didn't know not to be ready. Like, get your stuff in order now. I'd much rather put in the work now, today, from now until the end of 2023, and be ready so I don't have to get ready when things pop off. I'm telling you right now, stop sleeping on yourself. These next 6 months are going to fly by. They're going to fly by. But it is really up to you. It is up to you. It is up to your determination, your discipline to get this together. And that is why right now I'm going to share with you 6 tips to make these 6 months the best, the most transformative things that you have ever done, that are going to excel you, that are going to push you, and tips that I'm even going to take myself to get you to the next level. So I had a very transformative summer. Summer's not over yet, obviously, but so far I have been through so many stages, so many trials, so many tribulations, so much of just sitting with myself and trying to figure this out, that I am confident that these are the things that need to be talked about, that need to that have got me to where I am right now. And while that's not some super elaborate place, it's growth. It's better than where I was last year, better than where I was in January. So I just know that continuing these things and pushing them forward will grow you immensely. And so the first tip I have is to heal yourself. You need to heal yourself, okay? That is just facts. Let me tell you. I've always been a big proponent of therapy. I've always been a big advocate of it. I go to therapy. I go almost every week. And then law school happened and I stopped going. I did not realize how unhealed I was, and how many self-confidence issues there were, how many, just not believing in myself, not believing in my gifts, but then having, these gifts and saying oh, it's not that big of a deal. I didn't realize how much of that was unhealed. I didn't realize how much of my self-worth was found in other people, was found in how other people perceive me and what they think about me, instead of what I think about myself and what God thinks about me. I didn't realize how much of that was just so messed up until I really sat down and did the dirt. You cannot transcend to a new level. You cannot get to a new level of elevation. You cannot, promote yourself and do the things you want to do until you sit down and make sure everything in here is good. You have to heal yourself, whether that's personally, it's physically and emotionally and spiritually. You got to get it all 3 together. So if you're not going to the gym, start going to the gym. If you're not drinking your water, please start drinking your water. Don't be dehydrated out here in these streets. If you are holding grudges or, feeling like, oh, no one likes me, or, having these, weird, surfaces of self-worth, please go to therapy. Please. I'm asking nicely. Okay? Open your Bible, drink your water, and go talk to a therapist. You need to do it. My second tip is to invest in your side hustle. Invest in that thing you love. That thing that you've been doing for a long time that you don't really charge nobody for, but you really like doing it, or whatever the case may be. It's time to invest in it, okay? I'll use myself as an example. So I really love creating things. And all of this time I haven't been investing in it. It was just one of those things I just did. Oh, Brianna just does that. No, that stops now. If there is something in your life that you know that you could be monetizing off of, you need to invest in that skill. Imagine me knowing that I can, do social media, I can do graphics, I can do all these things, right? And then choosing not to invest in it. And then next year, something rolls around, a little issue happens with the little economy, and everything that I was doing for free, I'm not making a check off of. That's not good. That's not good at all. So make sure you're investing in your craft. Make sure you're investing in that thing that makes you so happy and so excited. Why am I not perfecting that? To give them a better experience and to give me, more knowledge, more experience. So, invest in those things. And of course, that lack mindset will tell you oh, we'll do it next year when we have more money. Child, if we get to next year and the economy does what you want to do, you're not going to have no money to invest in it next year. You need to When the opportunity presents itself, you need to take it. I'd rather get my certification now and work at my clientele and do what I need to do so that, next year comes around and something does happen, I'm good. Like, you know what? I do go to law school, but hey, I can hook you up. Like, just give me 5 to 7 business days, whatever the case is. And the same thing, goes for anything in this life, whether like maybe you bake cakes and everybody loves your cakes. Everyone's like, oh, like her cakes are so good. Like I want to order one for my birthday, etc., etc. Would it not make sense to go ahead and invest in that to make sure that, oh, I have the right mixer, I have the right tools, I have the right ingredients. Oh, maybe I should take a class with a famous baker so I can learn some more skills from them so I can increase my craft and increase my territory. Does that not make sense? Because it's making sense to me. So that's number 2. Invest in that side hustle. Invest in the things you love. Because it's important for your personal growth, and you don't know like what opportunities will be afforded to you later. Tip number 3 is to take action. Y'all, I cannot emphasize that enough. And of course that kind of goes with the investing in the side hustle, but you need to take action. Once you have the knowledge, once you've acquired it, once you've not even acquired all the knowledge. Let me make that very clear. You don't need to acquire everything you need to know about something to get started. Once you have acquired the bare minimum, it is time to have that messy action. It is time to go ahead and say, you know what? I don't have it all figured out, but I will figure it out when I get there. And you have to start. You have to pull the trigger. You have to say, you know what? I know this is what I'm supposed to be doing in some way, shape, form, or capacity. I'm just going to go do it. And so you have to take that inspired action, whether that's 30 minutes a day, whether that's an hour a day, whether that's only on the weekends or on your off time. You have to take that action. No one said it has to be perfect. No one said it has to be, elaborate, all drawn out and perfect. And put those doggone blinders on. Don't look at nobody to the left of you. Don't look at nobody to the right of you. I know it's easy. Comparison game is real. But, don't do that. You know what you're supposed to be doing at the end of the day. So go do it. Tip number 4. Now this one, it may seem like it's out of place, but I promise you it's not. Leave them people where they at. Please. Please leave them people where they are at. And what I mean by that is, I'm gonna be honest, not everybody can go with you. And that is so hard. I'm gonna just speak for myself. That has been so hard for me to understand. Because for me, I am very bubbly. I am very extroverted. I love people. I love talking to people. I love networking with people. I want everyone to be my friend. I want to be everybody else's friend. I want to be everyone's virtual bestie. I want to have this close relationship with everybody. But let me tell you right now, everybody cannot go where you're going. And that was the most rude awakening that I have had in the past 6 months. And you have to understand that people are just not going to go where you're going to go. People are not going to understand what you're trying to do. People are not going to understand the vision. They're gonna be people who are gonna think your vision is delusional. And I'm speaking from experience, okay? There are gonna be people who are gonna say, you know what, Brianna, that's stupid. You don't have the resources or the capability to do that, so don't do it. There are gonna be people who are gonna hate on you because they wish they had the guts to do what you're doing. There are gonna be people who are going to try to pull you back and say oh, that's too much. You know what? Maybe you shouldn't do that because I just don't think you should. Those people cannot go with you. At the end of the day, your purpose is not a conference call. Your purpose in life was not televised for the world to see it. It is not something that everyone needs to know. You can't be upset. You can't get aggravated. You can't get agitated when, people are dropping from you left and right, up, down, and making you feel like you're crazy. Like I said, all this stuff, I'm talking to my own self. Y'all are just... I'm talking to myself in the mirror. Y'all just catching the replay. I'm just being honest. Because at the end of the day, I had such a hard time understanding that. And it has been hurting me so much lately. Leave them people where they at. Say God bless you and love them from a distance. It's just that simple. It's not that simple, but it is. And that's the truth. Number 5 is to recognize your vision for what it is. And like I said, this kind of tunes back into everything I've been talking about. But you have to recognize your vision for what it is. You have to recognize your why. At the end of the day, when you have a vision to do something, when you have a purpose or a calling, or you feel like you need to be doing something, there's a reason why. There is something way more than I need to make X amount of dollars. It's way more than I want to buy this house and this car and buy this Louis. And while all those things are nice, and I have all 3 of them, period, It's more than that. There's more of a why, whether that is I want my kids to have generational wealth, whether that is I need to leave a legacy, for so and so, whether that is I want more time freedom, whether that's, I don't want to work for nobody else, I don't see myself being anybody's employee no longer, whatever the case is. There's a why that is deeper than that surface, and you need to understand that why. You need to understand that why, know that why, and recognize it for what it is. If the only reason you are doing something or investing in yourself or doing any of these things is for that surface level, you're not going to last long. There are going to be days where you're like, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm tired. This is just not it. It's not giving what it's supposed to give. But you have to remind yourself why you're doing it in the first place. And if you don't have that strong enough why, it's got to go. It's not going to be sustainable. And the last thing, you guys, is number 6, and that is discipline. You have to be disciplined. That's facts. Discipline is going to beat motivation every single day. I will preach that until the Lord comes and takes me off this planet. I get it. Because there's so many times where I don't want to be disciplined. There's so many times where I'm just like, okay, yeah, whatever, I'm tired, bye. No, it's not getting. It doesn't matter. It surely does not matter, because if you want to go from point A to point B, if you want to grow, if you want to be in a better position than you were today, you have to be disciplined. Your why and discipline go hand in hand. If you don't have a why, you won't have any discipline. If you have a strong enough why, you will have discipline. And you will be disciplined because of your why. If you ever struggle and you're thinking to yourself, you know what, I'm just not being as disciplined as I like, you need to go back to your why. You need to figure out if that why is really as strong as you think it is. Because if it's not, it won't matter. It surely will not matter. Anytime I thought about something getting really rough, or I didn't feel like doing my homework, or I didn't feel like showing up, or whatever the case is, I thought about why I was doing this, and it was like a muscle. I said, okay, well, this is why I got to do it. Let's go do it. So I'm telling you, that discipline and that why, they go hand in hand. They're besties. They are bestie boos. So you need to figure out what it is for you, and you need to run with it. And so, yeah, that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do, please feel free to give it a thumbs up, comment, and share with somebody who needs this. I feel like this is something that everyone really needs to hear right now. I feel like it's something that really resonates with me, and I hope it resonates with you. But don't let these next 6 months pass you by. Don't get complacent. Now is not the time. Now is not the time. Okay? Okay. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time.
Just to find a place where time is free. So baby, come with me as far as eyes can see.